pleasant evening and a warm welcome to the national news live on Channel I. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charita Minupurarachi and let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news. COVID vaccination program completes 1 year. A rapid increase in the number of global corona-infected persons. A passing out parade of the highest number of officials in the history of Sri Lanka Air Force. The President tells the new officials to go forward by enhancing skills. The Minister of Trade says an opportunity to purchase rice at lower prices without being subjected to the influences of the rice mafia. Neela Wickramasinghe, who had inherited unforgettable songs in the hearts of the fans, bids farewell to the nation. Further warnings on creating a dangerous situation in Russia as a result of the Ukraine crisis. On to those and other stories in detail now, and starting off with local stories. Today marks the completion of 1 year of the commencement of the COVID immunization program in Sri Lanka. Minister Dr. Kehale Rambukwella has presided over the main ceremony in this connection at the Health Ministry today. It was on the 20th of January last year that the first stock of the first dose of COVID control vaccines were brought to the island. They had been provided to the country according to a request made by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa from the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Accordingly, Sri Lanka had been accorded a consignment of 500,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine as outright donation. These vaccines has been used initially for the frontline staff, employees in the health divisions and security force personnel in the Western Province. Subsequently, the inoculation program had been successfully implemented in a stage-by-stage process in other provinces as well. The program has also inoculated, including conditions of mobile vaccination program, by visiting the doorstep of persons with special needs and an advanced ages who are unable to leave their residences. Vaccination centers operating throughout 24 hours of the day are being maintained with the objective of making more efficient of the vaccination program. Presently, programs relating to vaccination school children between the ages of 12 and 15 years and also administering the second dose of the vaccine to youth between the ages of 16 and 19 years are being carried out successfully. By now, Sri Lanka has become one of the few countries conducting best vaccination programs in the world. 35,633,259 Sri Lankan citizens have so far been vaccinated. The number of Sri Lankans who have received the first dose of the vaccine is 16,624,775. The second dose of the vaccine has been delivered in 13,911,179 persons. The booster vaccine has been inoculated on 5,097,305 persons. The Minister of Health says accordingly 100% of the target population have been vaccinated. The second dose have been delivered on 94%. 92% of the children between the ages of 12 and 15 years have been provided with the vaccination doses. The 1 year completion of the COVID vaccination program was coupled with expression of gratitude to the people who had challenged the pandemic. Similar ceremonies have been organized centering on 9 provinces in the island. Minister Kehale Rambukwella and Pavitra Wanyarachi, State Ministers Professor Channa Jayasubana and Specialist Physician Dr. Sudarshini Fernandepulle and a group of other parliamentarians have also attended the event. Head of the program of the procurement of vaccines, Presidential Advisor Lalit Veeratunga, Secretary to the Minister of Mass Media Anusha Palpita, Secretary to the Minister of Health Sanjeeva Munasinghe and Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena has also attended. A 1-minute silence has been maintained to remember the patients killed by the COVID disease. The other objective of the program included extending merit to the patients died due to the COVID pandemic, extending of appreciation and gratitude to all those who had acted with great dedication to control the spread of the disease. The meeting has been organized according to health guidelines.
Several ceremonies have been organized on the regional level, centering on medical officers of health officers and hospitals throughout the island in connection with the completion of the 1 year of the COVID vaccination program. Inoculation of the booster vaccine has also taken place after enlightening the general public. The ceremony has also been conducted at the National Non-Infectious Disease Institute today under the theme Homage to Human Nature, parallel to the first anniversary program. The event was conducted under the direction of the Director of Institute Specialist Physician, Dr. Hasta Attanayaka. Special attention has been focused on this occasion on the inoculation of the initial vaccination. Felicitations were extended on Specialist Physician Dr. Ananda Vijay Vikrama, who had received the first vaccine. Minister Dallas Alhapperuma has presided over another ceremony in connection with completion of 1 year of vaccination at the premises of the Mathura District Secretariat. All groups who have extended assistance in the controlling of the COVID-19 disease have been appreciated on this occasion. Another 1 year vaccination completion program was held at the office of the Governor of the Central Province in Kandy. At this occasion, those killed by the COVID pandemic were commemorated upon hoisting of the national flag. The religious observances have been conducted by Deputy Registrar of Askiriya Mahabhihari Chapter, Venerable Narampanave Anandatera. Vaccination commemoration ceremonies were held at the office of the Medical Officer of Health in Tangol and also at the Tangol Base Hospital. Parliamentarian Sampath Attukorala has presided over the commemoration ceremony in the Gaur district. Another ceremony in this connection was conducted at the office of the Director of Health Services in the Sabaragamu province. The Kurunagala district program was held at the office of the Director of Health Services in the Northwestern province. A special program on the provision of the booster vaccine to the general public was also held. The Kegol district program on completion of the year of COVID-19 vaccination program was held at the District General Hospital premises. Governor of the Uva province, A.J.M. Muzammil has presided over the Badulla district program at the auditorium of the Badulla Kacheri. The dead of the COVID pandemic were remembered through all religious observances. Another felicitation program was extended gratitude to the humanity which challenged the COVID pandemic was held at the office of the Director of Regional Health Services in Ampara. A vaccination coordination program was held at the Vavuniya District Secretariat covering 102 Gramanalavari divisions in the Vavuniya district today. Another special vaccination anniversary ceremony was held with the participation of all religious leaders at the premises of the Batiklo Teaching Hospital.
And meanwhile, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that the duty of young officials is to move forward in their professional career by enhancing skills. The President further pointed out that the new officers should strive to learn the lessons achieved through experiences and enrichment of capabilities while accumulating knowledge. The President has made these observations at a passing out parade of Sri Lanka Air Force officials at the Sri Lanka Air Force camp in Katunayaka this morning. 153 cadet officials who have undergone training with a period ranging from 3.5 years to 4.5 years, pursuing studies in 6 categories of courses. This was the first occasion in the history of Sri Lanka Air Force of such a large number of officials passing out in a single occasion. The President has pinned official badges on the laps of 22 flight cadet officials and 6 female flight cadet officials. 14 cadet officials who have shown excellence in all courses have also received awards from the President.
During the conflict,
the President has watched a concert performed by the Air Force
made the ultimate sacrifice in defense of their motherland. A further 236 were wounded. The sacrifices of these brave personnel, together with the efforts of their colleagues in battle, were instrumental in Sri Lanka winning a war that was long thought unwinnable. Since peace returned to Sri Lanka, the Air Force has continued to play an important role in nation building and in maintaining national security. Its service of over 70 years is truly appreciated by a grateful nation. As the newest officers and pilots of the Sri Lanka Air Force, all of you have much to live up to. Your fundamental duty as young officers is to develop yourselves and further your careers. Your integrity must be impeccable and your discipline must be of the highest standard. As a technical arm of the military, the Air Force demands absolute competence and allows no room for error regardless of whether you are a pilot or involved in ground operations. Your professionalism, too, must therefore be outstanding. You must work hard to continuously improve your knowledge, further develop your skills, and learn from the lessons imparted through your experience. Being a former army officer, I know at first hand just how impact genuine care and consideration for those you lead can be. In the late 1980s, I was stationed in Palali as second in command of the Gajaba regiment under the leadership of General Vijayavaman. Those of us in Jaffna during this period were given leave to return to Colombo via air for around 5 days each month. One afternoon during this period, General Vimaratna told me that I should go to Colombo and come. I informed him that I was not scheduled to return to Colombo at that time. He responded by saying I should go because it was my wife's birthday next day. That is how much he knew about his junior officers and how well he looked after us. Even today, nearly 40 years after this incident occurred, I fondly remember this kind gesture by General Vimaratna. Another instance I have never forgotten involves General Densil Kobakadu. One day during the Balavege operation to relieve the besieged army camp at Elephant Pass in 1991, a young major approached General Kobakadu in the field. He informed him that his son was going for an admissions interview to Royal College and requested a letter of support. General Kobakadu immediately sent for a pen and paper. Then and there he wrote a letter to the principal of Royal, informing him that this young officer is in the field fighting for his country and appreciating his consideration in admitting his son to the school. I know personally that this young boy facing that interview is a very successful engineer today, and that both he and his father are forever grateful for the support given to them by General Kobakadu. What these two incidents show is just how much you should care for and support the personnel under your command.
The President has watched a concert performed by the Air Force Band. He also appeared in a group photograph with the passing out officials. Commander-in-Chief of the Sri Lanka Air Force, Air Marshal Sudarshana Patrana, has presented a special souvenir to the President symbolizing his arrival. Thereafter, the President has placed a note in the special record book at the Air Force camp. Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratne, members of the Board of Directors of the Sri Lanka Air Force and officials were also present at the ceremony.
The government has taken measures to sell a kilo of samba rice for 128 rupees through the Satasa shops from today. The same variety of the rice is being sold outside at 130 rupees per kilo. It is anticipated that the prices would further decline due to clearing of large stocks of imported rice at the port. The minister has disclosed of the price reduction upon engaging in an inspection tour of rice stocks at the Wholesale Stock Exchange and rice sales outlets in Petta today. The minister has also pointed out that local rice mafia continuously engage in efforts to maintain the prices of a kilo of rice above 160 rupees via main media channels of supermarket networks. They were also engaged in creating a misconception among the consumers over the price of a kilo of rice reaching 300 rupees by April of this year. The minister has further stated that under such circumstances, it is a duty of the consumer to decide whether to become victims of such exploiting markets or to choose retail shops within which sells quality food products at reduced prices. Minister Bandula Gunawardena has further stated that the business community is able to purchase rice stocks from Petta Bulk Market Exchange at prices lower than that of Satasa. Minister Bandula Gunawardena said that a conspiracy has been waged over media last week, propagating rumours pertaining to the increase of rice prices once again. The earlier conspiracy was related to the spreading of false stories regarding the increase of the price of rice to 300 rupees by the time of the new year. However, the government has taken measures to prevent further price increases. At present, 1 kilogram of kaklu rice is being sold in the market for 100 rupees. The price of a kilogram of nadu rice is 105 rupees. A kilo of samba rice is being sold for 118 rupees. These are bulk prices. A 2 rupee and 50 cents or 3 rupee transport charge is added to each kilo of rice when transported to outstations. If the bag is being provided, a charge of 3 rupees and 50 cents is being levied. Still, a retail trader is able to make a profit. Minister Gunawardena further said that the Satasa is charging the most reasonable prices. At a Satasa retail shop, a kilo of Nadu rice is being sold at 105 rupees and a kilo of Samba rice for 120 rupees. 10 kilograms of rice is being provided to each consumer. The items could be purchased at the lowest prices from shops in Peta.
The newly constructed Bodhigara of the Bodhiraj Mahabhihari in Thalpitiya, Paduwa, was declared open with the participation of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa last evening. The President, upon arrival at the Mahabhihari, has called on Mahanayaka of the Kotte Sri Kalyani Samagri Dhamma Mahasangha Sabha, Most Venerable Ittapane Dhammalankara Thera and the Anunayaka Venerable Kotapitiya Rahula Thera and receives blessings. Thereafter, the unveiling of the name board and the Bodhigara has taken place. Minister Rohitabe Gunawardena, parliamentarians Lalit Ellawala and Sanjeev Edirimanna, Defence Secretary General Kamal Gunaratna and members of the Dayaka Sabha of the Vihare were also present on this occasion.
The Centre for Public Responsibilities reiterate that an equal educational system should be entrusted upon all people. Convener of the circle, Vasanta Avi, says that only then the concept of one country, one law could be made a reality. He has made these remarks at a public opinion inquiry session of the Presidential Task Force on One Country, One Law at the Bandaranaike International Conference Hall. He had added that the general public should become satisfied over the basic needs. With the increase of the population, the needs also increased. The convener of the Public Responsibility Circle has also pointed out the need of managing the process fulfilling public needs. He also said that teacher handbooks pertaining to the teaching of religions in certain government schools will have to be updated. National organizer of the Centre for Public Responsibilities, Dr. Colton Fernando, has stressed the need to form a national dialogue with the participation of learned and intellectuals of the country. The Presidential Task Force on One Country, One Law has been set up under the leadership of Venerable Galagoda Atte Gnanasarathera in order to become a reality, the One Country, One Law concept in Sri Lanka. The task force has already inquired public opinion in many provinces in the country. Any citizen is able to express his or her views before the Presidential Task Force by reserving time beforehand to address a session. Chairman of the task force, Venerable Galagoda Atte Gnanasarathera, Professor Shanti Nandana Vijayasinghe, Attorney at Law Sanjaya Marambage, Eranda Navaratna and Pani Vavala were also present.
Funeral of veteran singer late Leena Wickramasinghe was held at the General Cemetery, Boralla, this evening. The remains were kept at the residence of Neela Wickramasinghe in Papaliana until this afternoon. Large numbers of people, representatives, artists, fans have paid their last respects to the veteran artist. Ms. Neela Wickramasinghe has passed away at the age of 71 years while functioning as Consul General in Milano, Italy. She had obtained a Sangeeta Visharada degree in 1974 and later on served as a music teacher in many schools in the island. During his lengthy music career, she had become immensely popular by singing of songs such as Ranti Kirusina, Dayatuta Valalu, Punchisite Punchisina and Viyogi. Minister Dalasalaha Peruma and many artists have also attended the funeral ceremony. And with that, we conclude tonight's news. Tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe.
Good night.